make sure that they're able to sustain that wealth and also build upon it.
Well, isn't that lovely, right? Because that's one of the biggest challenges in the city today, especially when you look at gentrification of the core of the city. People are being pushed out to the edges. And Dr. White, I'll never forget a conversation I had with a prominent couple, right? Their family has expanded. They grew up and were born in the area between Napoleon and Louisiana Avenue and St. Charles and Claiborne. And their hope and desire was to go back to that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now, I think one was a lawyer and one was a dentist. But that area, starting out, was to go back home where they come from was not that affordable to them. And for many African Americans, even those making six figures or plus, right, especially those working class folk, are being pushed out of their neighborhoods. So then my initial question is, how do you make neighborhoods that are being gentrified affordable?
So it's difficult.
Okay.
But we do have a program called Community Land Trust. Are you familiar with Community Land Trust properties?
Yeah.
Okay. So Community Land Trust properties allow us to be able to get land in
Jenga, Mwendo, and
Julius.
And Julius.
Crescent City.
Yeah.
So they started. They merged with us, and so we have this program for Community Land Trust homes. We actually have a few for sale now, but what it basically means is the land is owned by the nonprofit, and the homeowner gets to purchase the home. We do it that way, and that model is made because it allows us to be able to get a lot in an area that we probably still could not afford, such as Treme. Treme is one of those gentrified areas, right? But if we can build a house and keep it affordable, keep it affordable in the Treme area, then that's considered us being able to keep some homes from being gentrified. Because when that person moves on or decides to leave that home or sell that home, we have to keep it at the same price for the next family.
So I want to say shout out to Oliver Thomas as well. He's being very modest sitting here, but I'm being told that he was influential during the building foundations, equipping justice impacted individuals for home ownership success.
Yes.
So we want us to give him his kudos
Absolutely.
for that, because I think, quite often people who are of this community, from this community, we can see things in a way that other folk can't see. And even though, he may not need the housing that he's fighting so hard for people to have access to, he knows that, but for the least of us, there goes the rest of us. So it's important that we look out for people who are impacted in ways that prevent them from home ownership, whether it's financial, whether it's a mistake they made in the past that doesn't qualify them for certain things. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and to keep a home, to even hear that you can afford to live in Treme as a Black person, indigenous to this community, almost sounds foreign.
Yes.
But the fact that it's happening and we just have to adjust, we thank organizations such as yours to make certain that people who are in need of this sort of resource has it through means such as the ones you present for us. So thank you for the work that you do.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why we're here. One, to just say thank you, Mr. Thomas, for always supporting the initiatives that we do, and particularly the Justice Impacted Community Program that we're working with. Tanika is heading up our foundations for financial literacy, and I'm going to let her talk to you about that. But you came out and spoke, and we're getting ready to start our second session. We're so excited that we're able, and we appreciate that. So that's really why we're here, because that's one of the things that the Plus and People's Housing gets to do to impact the community, is to make sure that those people that have been affected by justice impacted system get affordable housing. Basically, just hear from people like you that it's possible.
Solutions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What you guys are doing is, and it's, if we're going to maintain a solid demographic, especially of indigenous people, right, of people who are native to this community, support for your program is extremely important. Or this will wind up being a New Orleans that may mimic the New Orleans we knew or know, but it won't be. And so that's why Danica, what you do is extremely important.
So talk to us about the financial literacy and Empapis.
So with the financial literacy, I am the Director of Education with People's Housing Plus.
Shout out to the education.
Absolutely.
My goal is to ensure that everyone within the entire household has that financial education background, right? Parents should be teaching their children how to budget, how to save, how to invest as well. And so what we do is we go out and we teach people at the minute level what it means to be financial literate. And so our program is to establish a better relationship with your money, right? By show of hands, how many of us have a bad relationship with our money?
Need a better relationship.
Right.
Want a better relationship.
And so that starts by taking time and getting to know your money, right? How much money are you actually bringing in? How much are you spending? Are you living within your means? Are you above your means, right? And so this is why at People's Housing Plus it's important that we not only help people to purchase homes, but to get you through the background of it to understand how to purchase a home, how to maintain a home, and if you decide that you want to dispose of that property, how to properly dispose.
But I also liked about what you guys do is that it's bigger than just that house. It's about the community and all of the facts from civic engagement, right, to generational wealth, to personal each responsibility. Why is that important in terms of the way y'all shape y'all participants?
So as Director of Stewardship and Community Engagement, that's what I do for People's Housing Plus. It's our goal to make sure that we not only help you get into a home, but more importantly, help you stay in the house. So after you have gone through working with Nika and Erica Torriello, getting into the home, getting the education about budgeting, saving, then you turned over to stewardship, which is this side of the program where we work with you on making sure you know what your homestead exemption is, that you know that they're property taxes and that they're going to be due, that you know that you're going to have to maintain your home, that if someone should suddenly die, that you've got to have a succession plan or a will in place so that we can transfer this property. One of the biggest problems that we have in our community is transfer property. A lot of people die and don't have a plan, right? So we have gotten some grant money to be able to help people get free. That's right. We get free wills, and we can get that done for you. So our next session to get a free will is with Attorney Jay Daniels, and that's on Saturday, the Saturday coming up on the 28th between 10 and 2. I am booked already, but just get on my list because I'll get you scheduled for the next one because we're going to continue to do this. As long as we keep getting funds. We're getting some funds to be able to make this happen. But people need to know that you got to have a plan. So part of what I'd like to happen in stewardship on the post education side is just making sure that families are having discussions about how to protect our assets, not lose it to a tax sale. So we've done sessions on adjudication, tax sale adjudication, what that means, what that looks like. We've done sessions on foreclosure prevention, what that looks like. And don't wait until you've missed the third or fourth payment to come and look for help. Look for help before that because there is help out there.
So talking about the pathway to ownership, are you also educating the populace, educating me, educating Oliver on how to not only own the building, but own the land that the building sits on?
Yes, so we have two models. We have a fee simple model and we have a community land trust. So with the fee simple portion, we do receive down payment assistance from the city of New Orleans as well as NORA to help our individuals at the AMI range of 80%, right? Some of our homes do go up to 120, but we have home buyer education classes and we have a session that's coming up with Credit Human beginning in October, where we're going to have 4 weeks of getting you prepared for home ownership. No tricks, just treats.
So as an educator, you know we're good with throwing them acronyms. Telling people what the AMI,
the area median income.
Yeah, so people who are listening, we like acronyms. We will show something up in a second, right? But the AMI is the area median income, and so I think it's important for people to learn that when you own a home, you want to also own the land because then when something happens, everything is yours. You know, you don't have to worry about losing things. And my family's going through that, the whole succession. My relative died, our elder in the family died, and then the property was given to the next, and now they're battling over who it belongs to, and it's just a bunch of mess. So you alleviate the mess by going to see People's Housing Plus at this session
that we can get excited.
That is happening from 10 to 2 on September the 28th with Attorney Jay Daniels.
Yes. And so just to be clear, the way our models are set up, we are an affordable housing agency, and so we have fee simple and community land trust for those that need community land trust because some people just won't ever be able to buy a home, right? But however, with a community land trust, it's almost as if you're just paying rent on the home. And we do retain ownership, and those homes are new construction homes, 2 and 3 bedrooms found in Treme, Tulane, Gravier, and the prices for a 2-bed is $135,000. You qualify for up to $65,000 in down payment assistance, and you own the home. And if it was a time for a resale, well, then you would get the portion of the building itself based upon the appraisal at that time, and then the resale to the next person, they also qualify for down payment assistance.
Ms. Ellis, I'm hearing so much more. You guys are leading the way, especially at the local level. But we're hearing more conversations about building generational wealth. I participated in Congressional Black Caucus's Wealth Conference year before, last year. where one of the biggest challenges was that they were tracking African Americans financially from 150 years ago, and the fact that in many cases we've lost per capita wealth. We have a few of us doing better, but as a whole, we own less.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Even many of our young professionals,
Right.
With their degrees, with their salaries, they don't own as much.
Right.
So talk about this movement now, where you guys are starting at the ground level to begin to talk about those families used to happen within our family.
Exactly.
Buy
Right.
a house.
Like
make
one
sure
generation ago.
Make sure you
Right.
take care
Yes.
of Big Mama's house.
Right.
You know, your mom and dad's house. How did we lose that? And why is efforts like you guys, that I'm hearing all across this country, why is it just happening now?
Well, I don't think it's just happening now. I just think we're just starting to have more conversations about it. People are starting to talk about it more, so we're hearing more about it. There is a big gap. I think that we're going to have to stop thinking that we need to catch up with the rest of the world, because we have been so far behind, not by our choice. We did not design this program, but we can't catch up. We'll never be able to catch up with that other side, right? We won't catch up. But what we can do is start from where we are, teaching each other. And I believe that it has to start with families. We have to start sitting at the dinner table, having discussions about money, about planning, about an action plan. What are we going to do? How are we going to teach our kids to be successful? And what is success? Everybody doesn't want to own a home. And that is not the only way to wealth. It is definitely a springboard to building wealth, but it's not the only way to building wealth. And so we need to talk about that too. Some of us may want to be an entrepreneur. Some of us want to take our money and invest in a company. Some of us may want to go into the stock market. But we need to start having conversations that we have options. And we don't always have to be on defense. Sometimes we can just be on offense.
So will that information be given out at the Building Foundation session on October 9th?
We do talk to our justice impacted population about that, but not in such detail. Mm-hmm. But it does come up in our sessions.
Because that is a good point, that home ownership is a springboard, but it's not the only option. Because I know quite a few people who have no interest in owning a home, and they're very successful.
Right.
That's just not their goal.
It's not the only
So that's a good talking point to make certain that people realize that success is individual.
Yes.
It's up to the individual person. Right. My level of success is different than yours, but that doesn't mean that we're not independently in our own respect successful. Right. So what about the community stewardship and legacy building?
So community stewardship. So basically that's what I do, the stewardship. It's just basically giving programming and providing resources to our homeowners that are already homeowners, providing them resources so that they can be successful at being a homeowner. Homeownership is expensive. Maintenance, taxes, the current state of our insurance premiums, it costs a lot of money. However, it can build wealth. You can tap into your equity, if you have equity, and use that money to send someone to college, or use that money to start a business or savings. So just whatever you want to do with it, so that the next generation is not having to start over. My dad owns property in Central City. So I grew up watching my father buy a property, but he didn't talk to me about it. He just did it. So I just saw, right? I saw what he was doing over